Well, of course, I hope for it. This business is a drug, and I'm addicted to it. And it's one of those things where I'm a huge fan still because of that. um, and to be honest with you, I was starting to. I'm so glad the internet wasn't as big when we were wrestling because I would have been on that thing and I would have been reading stuff, and I probably either would have been happy or sad, or most likely sad about things that people wrote about us. But I got caught up in that whole thing last year when Shane came back, with a lot of people getting in touch with me saying you're going to come back, and even guys that I worked with said, hey, get ready to take the last ride from the Undertaker and stuff like that, and we'd have a few laughs with it, and I was getting myself all amped up and ready to go because I'm thinking to myself, geez, Shane won't tell me 3 months in advance or 2 months in advance. He'll wait till 3 days before and say, hey, you want to be involved? One of those deals. So, because he kayfabes me all the time, and I can't stand the son of a bitch because of it. But it's one of those things where I don't know why he always does that to me. So, in the back of my mind, I kept, every time he called leading up, I was, I'd answer the phone all excited, thinking, here it is. But it never happened. So he has a new posse, which he brought out at WrestleMania, and I was sitting there in the fourth row, and I had a huge smile on my face, and I thought it was a great moment because I know how much it meant to him to have his boys with him, and his new posse there did a great job, and they really added another element to a great match that night.
It was a spectacular sight to see what Shane did in that match. It was also very cool to see another generation of McMahon make their way out onto the WrestleMania stage. But I guess maybe John could maybe he could work this one to his dream match questions. Maybe the McMahon Posse 2.0 versus the Mean Street Posse a couple of WrestleManias down the road. But, we got another WrestleMania coming up, and here he is going to fight AJ Styles, quite possibly the best wrestler in the world. So, again, I guess you said he kayfabes it to the last minute, so as of right now, there's nothing out there for PCAST and the Mean Street Posse.
No, unfortunately, there's not, and I don't think there will be. But Shane has sent me a ticket for my wife and I to go, and I'll be there to support him, and I'll be there. And my suitcase, I may pack a sweater vest or two just in case. But until then, until I get the phone call, then we'll have to wait and see.
The iconic sweater vest, keeping the sweater vest cool, at least on a few streets up there in Greenwich, Connecticut. But, what did you think about seeing Shane go all out in that match last year? Obviously, that the one thing we all remember is the leap, but kind of seeing your buddy go, really take it to the extreme. What did you think about Shane's performance against The Undertaker?
That's Shane. I mean, I'll be honest with you, that's Shane, and that's Shane always takes it to a next level. Whether it's in a match against Undertaker, or being in high school, us sneaking into a bar and him buying everybody rounds of drinks. That's he's an extremist, and he loves it, and he's definitely he's an adrenaline junkie and loves the business. And I wasn't surprised, and that was one of the reasons why. I don't know if you've heard this story. I know I've told this story on other shows, but I love it. Is the night he came back in Detroit. And when Vince told him that he was going to be facing Undertaker in a cell, I was sitting on my couch with my wife, and I turned to her and I said, "We're going." And she's like, "Why?" And she's like, "Not why, but she's like, you want to go?" And I said, "I'm not missing this." I said, "He's jumping off that cell." Now I knew once I heard cell, I know how his brain works, and it's like, geez, the only difference is I thought he may light himself on fire first, something even more dangerous, and then jump, but that's a whole other story. He's just such an extreme. He loves that adrenaline rush and loves doing something like, even the other night, jumping, going through the table with AJ Styles, on the table. He's 47 years old, and he's still doing these stunts, and he's putting his body on the line, and it's because he loves this business, and he loves, he does it for the fans and everyone else like that. So you got to tip your hat to him. He's never had a bad match. You can never say, hey, that match with Shane really stunk tonight. It just doesn't happen. I've yet to find anyone to say, he's had a bad match, because everything he does is always something special to remember it in a positive way.